Well, hello ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to in today's video we are going to answer this question under the Visual Basic .NET. So first of all, we are required to create something similar to this, right? But which contains some functions which are written here. So write a program for the Showman Tours so that the transport officer, yeah, can enter the date the car was rented out, the date it was returned, the mileage when it was retained out, rented out, and the mileage when it was returned to the organization, right? Then the program should calculate, all right, the calculate button and display the results. Use the DateDiff, okay, function to determine the number of days the car was rented out. Use the sample interface below. So we need to create something similar to this. So this DateDiff function, we are going to be doing it under the console part. So let's head over to our form. So let's just adjust this form into a certain size, more like this. And so the first thing which we're going to do, right, we're going to be using labels. So we're going to drag this one here, the other one we're going to drag it here, and the other one I'm going to drag it here, and the fourth one I'm going to drag it here. And then what I'm going to do, this one I'm just going to edit it into something. So you make sure you on the property side, right, you have to look for where it says text, right? So now I'm going to change this one into something similar to this. Okay, where is it? Come on. Date rented. Okay, date returned, rented, and the date returned. Okay, so let me just adjust the date. Okay, rented. Okay, move the space on the next one. So I'm going to write the different ones, date. Okay, return, just like this. On the other label, the third label, I'm going to put something like let's see, put it on my classes. Okay, on starting mileage and ending mileage. So I'm going to say, okay, this label is going to show starting mileage, just like this, and this one will just represent ending mileage. So on the text here, that's what I'm going to change, ending mileage, just like this. Okay, now I have to align this text, so I'm going to select all, then I hit this button, align left. Okay, completed. Now okay, this starting and the ending mileage, you are going to be using text box, right? Yeah. So since we are going to use a DateDiff, we are required to use this from the toolbox. This one, if you check in our toolbox, we have the date time picker and the date time picker, and we are going to have something like a text box which we're going to put in here, because we're just going to enter some integers or integer, yeah, here. So this one we have to change it, right? So we're going to change it into something like the format of this, the content within this is not what I like. You can use that, but I just want to use a different one. So under properties, make sure you select a short form, right, as you can see, and under this one we're going to use like, okay, the same, we're going to say a short form. You can even explore other things, but for the purpose of this video we're going to be dealing with this one. So I'm going to, okay, align it left, then I'm just going to try to align it like this. Yeah, so now I'm going to find something which will represent this outer box, this line, of which I do not know what this is. So what I'm going to do, right, under the toolbox, I'm just going to check around. Okay, as I was saying, check box, I think, no, I don't think that's the one. So check color dialog, no, context, no, data grid view, no. Okay, what? Okay, group box. So because we want you to group it, so I'm just going to put this one. I hope that's the one. So let me just check the sizes, just like use almost the same one like on the side. So now I'm going to drag and drop it to the right side, just like this. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove the all text because it's not even visible on the question paper. I think that's all right. So as you can see, the program should calculate. Okay, so that means you have to click these buttons: calculate, clear, and exit. So I'm going to add some buttons which you are going to find in our toolbox. Okay, don't mind my spellings. So under the button, so which I'm going to drag and drop within this part. Then I'm going to select another button, drag and drop within this space, and another button which I'm going to drag and drop within this space. Okay, is my buttons aligning to the same ones here? No, it is not. So we'll just focus on that alignment later on. So let's just focus on changing the text within our button into calculate, right? This is the calculate button. This one is the clear button, and this one is called the exit button. Okay, I think we're almost like good to go. Should I align them? Yes. Should I put on the side? Yes. Is this box that large? Okay, so the calculate button stretches far to the left side. So let me just do the same thing which is done here. Okay, now it seems like my text is not totally different. Okay, what am I going to do here? Let me just do this clear. Then I'm going to do this on the exit one. Yeah, just like this. Is it okay to do this, or should I style it like this? Okay, this is too much. Let me just put it into something better. Okay, so now I'm just going to adjust this one, align it. I think now it's kind of like okay for us to continue. So now I'm going to deal with the other part of the question. So these are just textbooks: textbooks 1, textbooks 2, textbook 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to be 2, 4, 6 text boxes. So let's just do this. Okay, so I'm going to look for some text box. Then I'm just going to take it and land it here. Take another one and land it below here. Then I'm going to take another one which is going to contain 270, another one which is going to showing some results, and another one which is going to show some results. I think that's fine here. So okay, so we're going to write something. So we need a label, right, which are going to say okay, days, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's more like 4 labels here needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, and another text box here. 4 labels. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this one. Then I'm going to now look for labels, right? Label 1. So this one is going to contain 1, 2, 3, somewhere around here. Is it? I'm so forgetful. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to. So this one, let me just try to adjust these boxes into this part. This one, let me just adjust it. This one. So this one, I'm going to change everything. Okay, days 8. Okay, I'm just going to change the contents here. Text. I'm going to say days 8. Okay, this is fine. Then this one is going to be written kilometers at $2.60 per kilometer. What? Kilometers at 60 whatever. So I'm going to change the text within this one. Say that I'm going to say kilo. Okay, meters, right? Okay, hear me out here. At $2.60 per kilometer. At $2.60 per kilometer, right? Put some space at $2.60 per kilometer, just like this. All right, so let me just align it here, and this one I'm going to align it here. Okay, then this one I'm just going to put them here, put a space. So I would like to make another box here, group box, which would be nice, but let me just focus on the functionality of the program. So there are these two boxes, right, text box, which are going to show some results. So I'm going to be aligning them properly. So this one, let me just put it there. So I'm going to put some text within it. So it's written it's at $270, right? Yeah, so now I'm going to change this one into something smaller to this. Then I'm going to drag and drop my text box so that they will align with these buttons. Then I'm going to do the same thing. You can do whatever you want, but yeah. So now I'm going to make another change. Total amount payable, right? So this is the text box which I'm going to change, and payday is equals to, alright, let me just, total amount of a payday is equals to, no, I shouldn't have not double clicked this. Okay, so I'm going to change the text within this one. So I'm going to say, okay, what's per day? Per day is equals to, alright. Okay, let me put a tab. No, is equal to, right? Okay, let me just put some spaces here. Then I'm going to do the same here, like, okay, I'm going to put an equal sign away, an equal sign, just like this. But then, okay, okay, mind me, I'm kind of like graphic designer, so I like making things into yeah, to look proper, like a line. Okay, all right, just like this. I think it's much more fair. So now I'm going to change this one into like a total amount payable. Is it amount payable? So that this is the amount which the person should pay, right? Yeah. So total amount payable after being calculated within the program, right? Yeah, payable. All right, so this is going to be within this thing. So let me just try something out before we check. So I'm going to look for a group box, if I'm able to align it on top of this, or maybe it's not possible. Okay, all right, I'm not even able to do so. Why? So I should send it back. Let me just check it out if I'm able to send this one to the back side. To the back side. So view. If I fail, then we are going to leave it alone. Seriously, is it something which, okay, format, okay, sender, order, send back. All right, this is nice, but then I need to remove the group name here. Yeah, delete it. Wow, you seeing what I'm saying? So now this one, I'm just going to create another setting group. Just because I started knowing the group button today, the group thing function today, so I'm about to use it all. So I'm just going to put this one, right, the group one. Okay, I think I might have done some error here. Should I? Oh no, I shouldn't do this. The last time when I did it, I just messed everything up. Just go back, yeah. All right, so let me just check this group. Where's the group thing? Okay, group box, let me just put it on this space. Then I'm just going to have to change it all. All right, then I'm going to put it here. Then I'm just going to stretch it to the side and do it like this. Then I'm going to send it back using the format one order send to back. Yeah. Then I'm just going to remove the text of this one. Alright. Then I'm just going to do this, touch this and that, and then I'm going to drag and drop it to the part. Then I'm just going to drag this one to, okay, so this is now grouped, so I'm not able to change it unless I enter in within the group box and align it to the point which I want, just like this. Yeah. So okay, now I have to just shrink this one to this part, and so now the real programming starts, right? So I'm going to be clicking the buttons and making some edits. So okay, so this one I'm just going to remove it because this code is unnecessary. The code will show like this. So now we're going to be creating some functions. So we have to, because what we need to do, right, after we double click this one, we click it, after we click it, right, we need our program to just run the code once, right? So we're going to say double click it. Then so now we need to create some functions, right? So either we'll start with the easy ones, starting mileage and ending mileage. Yeah. Should I put a certain text here? Alright, let's do this. Okay, this one is called it's under text box what? This one is under text box 1 and this one is the under text box 2. Text box 2, and you want the kilometers to be shown within this part, right? Within text box what? 4. Yes, you can see text box 4. So now we're going to do the thing. So we're going to say, okay, dim, let's say a mile 1 and a mile 2. Okay, let's just complete as what, an integer. Yes, we're going to deal with an integer, right? Yeah. Is it possible to get some comma, some decimal numbers within kilometers? Yes, so let's just change it to in the double. So it's double, just like this. Now we're going to say, okay, mile 1, right, is going to store the contents which are going to be placed in text box 1, but we need to access the text, right? So we're going to say .txt, just like this. Then I'm going to do the next one. Then mile 2 is going to contain, to store information from text box 2 as text, right? Now we're good. And then later on it should display information to the text box 4, right? How? So it's going to say subtract this starting figure from this mile 2. So we're going to say, okay, text box, okay, text box, is it 3 or 4? Help me out here. Text box 4. Come on. Text box 4. Okay, .txt, right? So that you can show the text within the screen. Should I say screen? Okay, within this box. So it's going to, okay, information which you need to be shown here is mile 1 subtracting a mile, so being subtracted from mile 2, just like this, right? So what we need to do, let's just pre-run it so that we can check if our program is running. Okay, I'm waiting. Alright, so as you can see, let's put the starting point. Let's say the car we just took, it was on 345 kilometers, right? Then and we returned the car, it's 675. Let's now calculate. As you can see, so it's now showing the difference. If we calculate this one under our calculator, we just find the same thing. Okay, yeah. So now, since we did not program this clear button, well, it won't even work, right? So let's go back to the program and calculate. So so that you can show now, you can show information here, right? So it's going to say, okay, the amount shown under this part is going to be multiplied by $2.60, and it's going to show it here. So let's just do that. So what we need to check, right, we'll go under form, right, then we're going to check, okay, this text box is under what, is under which name, it's under text box 7, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to say, okay, text box 7.txt, right, just like this, press your tab button, is equal to, okay, is equal to the amount which you have got from text box text box 4 times $2.50. Okay, so let's say text box 4.txt, and we're going to multiply it by the value of $2.60, and let's check. So let's start debugging so that you can check if there is error or if our program is working. Okay, so if it shows then it's working, so let's just put a random number. As for now, I use the same number. Then I'm going to say calculate. So it's going to say, okay, $290 kilometers times this one is going to show on this part of the screen, which is nice. So let's do this. Okay, now we're going to deal with the other part, this part, right? So we're going to say, okay, let's now declare some variables for these times, right, from this date 1 and date 2. So now we're going to create some space. So now let me just do this. So now we're going to say, okay, dim, right, date 1 comma date, variable date 2 as integer, floating point, double. Okay, what is date? That's the one which you need to use. Okay, now we're going to say, okay, date 1, right, is equals to date picker. Okay, because why I'm not saying date picker, because that's the name given to this. Okay, it's called date time picker. That's the name given to our first box, and our next box is called date time picker 2. So we're going to use that date. Let's go to date time picker 1. Okay, dot txt. Yes, we're going to say date txt because we want to check the content from the text content which is written with that form. Now that date 2, right, is equal to something like date time picker. The content on date time picker 2 is going to be sent within that variable date 2, like this. But now since we have it, so we want the calculation here to be shown under days, right? So it's going to subtract this from this, right? So I'm going to say, okay, on our text box what, let's check the name of this text box so that it can show our dates. This is called text box 3, right? So within text box 3.txt, I need the program to show, okay, the difference between date 2 and date 1. So we might say date 1, date 2, okay, minus date 1, and let's see how it goes. But our question will go on the part where we need to use the date. Okay, what we call the date, the DateDiff function. So that means there is an error here. So let's just do it. So we're going to say, okay, let me just remove this one. Let me just do this, and I'm going to cut it out. Then we're going to call the function called DateDiff. The thing about Visual Basic .NET about this platform, right, it will just let us know, because if you don't know, just write the same function name which you are given in a question paper, and just check at this one and say, okay, if I write okay, show me the come on, show me the info. If I write that DateDiff, right? Okay, what do we do here? I'm going to say right, let's see. Okay, this one is not even showing me something, so let me just put a dot. It won't show anything. Let me try to look here. How do, okay, DateDiff, right? We're going to say interval, then dot, we're going to say date, right, or a day. So I'm going to say, okay, open, then I'm going to say a date interval dot day, right? Then what will happen next? We're going to put a comma, then we're going to say date 1 and date 2. All right, this is good. So I'm going to put a comma here, then I'm saying, okay, if the program allows us to access this variable, then it is correct. We're going to subtract date 1 from date 2. So I'm going to say date 1, just like this. Then I'm just going to close the bracket. Now let's just start debugging, check if there are errors. There is no error, right? So the starting date is, today is Thursday 2, right? Then we return our car on the 15th. Then our starting mileage was on 500, right? And then we return it at 862. Then we have to calculate. As you can see, it's going to show the difference of 13 days, but so we're going to rearrange everything. So we're going to start by putting date 1, and this one is going to be date 2. Okay, this is good. Now we're going to say, okay, we're going to calculate the number of days here times the amount. Then it's going to put the total here, right? Total money, yeah, total money. So this one is just the $270 per day is equals to a certain amount. So now we need to know what our text box is. So this one is called text box 6, right? Yeah. So we're going to say here, after this part, we're going to say, okay, under text box what, man, I'm lost. Text box what, 6, is it 6? Text box 6, right? Dot text is going to show okay, it's going to show the number which is contained here in text box 3 dot text multiplied by what, the $270 per day, just like this. Let's start to debug and check if our program has no errors. So I'm just going to say, okay, we'll return our car on the 9th, then we'll start it out this at a random figure, then we'll return it here. Let's calculate. As you can see, it says 7 times that's the number. We can even bring up our calculator so that we can confirm if we have some doubts with the program. So we're going to say, since we're developing the program, we might have doubts, so we have to test it out. As you can see, that's the amount written here, and everything will be correct. Okay, I think the part of our program is complete right now, but then let's say maybe we have to put some dollar signs here. How can we do it? Let me just try it out. So under this, okay, under the form 1 design, right, within the text part, I think there is a text part, right, like here. I'm going to say, okay, I'm just going to put a dollar sign in the space, right? And I'm going to, I hope this one goes well. Well, I'm just testing it out. I haven't tried it before. Then I'm going to say, okay, text, let me put a dollar sign in space and see how it goes. Maybe it will just clear everything I do not even know. Let me just put a random date to this one. Then I'm going to say a certain figure. Then I'm going to say this. Then you have to calculate. It will just replace it. Well, that's not good. But okay, let's just leave it alone. Let me just clear. Maybe we'll see on the next part. Right? Yeah. Then I'm going to remove the dollar sign here. Now the part where we need to program the clear button and exit button. So what we're going to do, right, we have to double click on this one, right? So what we need to clear is we're going to clear everything from the all the text boxes here which is available, and here again. So I forgot to calculate this one, so let's just create it, the format, the form. So how do we clear? We just clear by just doing this. All right, let me just say, okay, text box 1 dot txt, right, just like this. It is equal to an empty set, an empty, yeah, I hope this is the correct thing. Let's just check it. Okay, which one is the text box 1? This one is a text box 1, right? Okay, let's just run the program and see if it works. So I'm just going to put okay, this and that, and let's calculate, and let's click clear. It have cleared, so it works. So now what we do, right, you want to complete the whole clear button function. So there is the text box, or every text box today which exists here, we're going to clear it out, except the one which is written 270. So I'm just going to exclude the text box 5. So I'm just going to count from text box 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Everything. So I'm just going to copy and paste everything so that I cannot take the time to do it. Maybe if there was a looping or loop function, we will just create it so that it won't be just boring to change. So 2, okay, 3 and 4, okay, 4, text box 4, 5 we're going to exclude, so I'm going to put 6 and 7 and 8. So let me just remove this one, 7 and 8. And yet we are going to also clear the date time picker, so we're going to add it to the list. Date time picker 1, right? We're going to say .txt. We need to clear it. Alright, so I'm going to create this one, and I'm going to put in empty the whole thing. Then I'm just going to select the whole thing and paste it below, just like this. Then I'm going to say, okay, picker 2, right? So before we proceed, let me just count. So this one, the total amount payable, okay, what's going to happen, right? It's going to add this one and this one together, the text box, the contents in the text box 6 and the contents in the text box, what is the name of this text box? In text box 7 into what? Into text box 8. So we're going to say, okay, let's do this. Text box, right? Text box, is it okay? Let's just check it. Text box 8 dot txt, right, is equal to text box 7 dot txt plus text main. I just forgot the thing which I've been checking. Show this text box 7, 8, I mean this one is 6, this one is 7. Alright, so I'm going to say 7 plus text box 6 dot txt. Let's see if this code is going to run. Alright, looks promising. So I'm just going to say okay, I return the vehicle on the 6th day, since it's expensive to use per day. So my starting mileage was on 50, the car was on rating 5,000, right? And I returned the car at 5,087. Then I'm going to calculate, and it will print everything to the screen. Okay, as you can see, this total mileage is not even showing properly. It's not even mathematically calculating everything. So we have to change something. Like what? So we need to declare some variables which is going to store text box 3, text box 7 and text box 6, right? Yeah. So this is what we're going to do. Alright. Where's the text box 7? There it is. So we're going to say okay, now we're going to declare some variable dim a, let's say, and b as double, right? Double, just like this. And then I'm going to say a is going to contain the content of text box what? Text box 6. Okay, there it is, dot txt, right? And then b is going to contain some content from text box 6 dot txt, just like this. Then I'm going to be, it will be added on this part, and I'm going to put b. Let's see how it goes. Start our program, and let's run this one out. So I'm just going to put okay, I took the vehicle on the 7th day, then I returned it a few hours later. And then the car was written this number within the dashboard, but then I returned the car with this end of mileage as this one, because I just wanted to do a quick run. Then I'm just going to click clear it. So as you can see, it have successfully added 270 plus 65, and it's going to give us this one. But now we have to clear so that we can calculate for the next vehicle. So I'm just going to click the clear button. Alright, now my program did it clear strings not recognized as. So it is impossible to just clear this into a string, right? So I'm just going to remove this one. Yeah, they remove this whole part, right? Yeah. So now I think we're good to go. What's next from the question? The exit button. So we're going to double click the exit button, and now what we're going to do, right? The exit button, we're going to exit the whole thing, this form 1, right? So before we do that,